You're watching News 19 Saturday Morning.
Hello and welcome to News 19 Saturday Morning. Thanks for joining us. I'm Loren Thomas. Well, Lexington County deputies are asking for your help in finding a suspect in a manhunt. They say this man, Larry Christopher Richburg, ran from a traffic stop causing a short manhunt. He's also wanted for previous warrants, including domestic violence, driving under suspension, and failing to stop for police. If you have any info on where he may be, please call Crime Stoppers at 1-888-CRIME-SC. Richland County has filed a lawsuit against a nightclub where 2 men died early Wednesday morning. The lawsuit against Black Pearl was filed on Wednesday, and it looks to permanently close the nightclub's doors. The document states that the Richland County Sheriff's Department has responded to Black Pearl 24 times since December of 2016 for complaints ranging from aggravated assault to disorderly conduct. According to the complaint, a hearing is scheduled for January 16th. More than a dozen farmers in South Carolina will be guinea pigs for a new pilot program in the state that would grow hemp for research purposes. Georgia Godfrey caught up with one of the farmers selected and found out what the program is all about.
The applicants for the hemp pilot program had to go through a rigorous application process. Only 20 people were chosen from more than 100 applicants. They had to have a background check, present research, and even a marketing plan. I'm a 7th generation farmer. I farm alongside my brother and my father, and where we're at right now is his home where he lives at. It was his great uncle's farm that they bought some time ago. Neil Baxley has worked on the farm since he was a child, growing sweet potatoes, corn, tobacco, and cotton. But now Baxley Farms is adding another crop to its land, hemp. It's a great crop, a lot of different uses. A lot of people will grow for fiber. The fiber can be made into textiles. The Industrial Hemp Pilot Program allows selected farmers to grow up to 20 acres of hemp in South Carolina. It will be a brand new crop in the state, so this pilot program will help farmers learn more about it. What we're doing is trying to find the best use for the product, best production practices, and things of that nature, as far as how this crop's going to fit in our environment and whether it'll be a good crop for our producers in the future. The farmers will report that information to help the state determine if hemp could be a crop used in the future. Even though this program is a state initiative, the farmers have to put up 100% of the cost themselves for the crop and growing operations. In Marion, Georgia Godfrey, News 19 WLTX.
THC, which is the chemical compound found in marijuana and responsible for the euphoric high. The farmers come from 15 different counties around the state.
Now, the Midland's most accurate forecast with meteorologist Daniel Bonds.
Well, good Saturday morning to you. Our weekend is going to be pretty mild, and that's been the case over the last several days. Temperatures have been above normal. 79 degrees on Tuesday. It was 73 degrees on Monday. We dipped down a little bit on Thursday. We had a high of 62 degrees, but yesterday was pretty pleasant. High temperatures climbed all the way up to 68 degrees, and it looks like today we're going to be a little bit warmer than that, even though we are expecting mostly cloudy skies. That's what we've got outside right now, but it's still pretty mild. As of 10 o'clock, 64 degrees in the capital city, 63 degrees in Sumter, 62 degrees in Orangeburg. All across the Palmetto State, we're generally in the mid to upper 60s at this hour. But a wider view shows where our cold weather is. It's 8 degrees in Rapid City, 7 degrees right now in Billings, Montana, 30 degrees in St. Louis. So if you're heading towards the west or northwest for your holiday, it looks like it will be a lot colder. 64 degrees in Columbia, as we mentioned. Here in the deep south, 63 degrees in New Orleans, and even warmer down in Miami. They're at 79 degrees. But as we mentioned, some of that colder air is now spilling into portions of the upper plains states. Some of that will be moving towards us, it looks like, after Christmas. This is what we've got going on right now. That's where the colder air is still trapped towards our north. That cold front there is going to move through later tonight. That's going to produce some showers, it looks like. Throughout most of the day, it should be dry, but as this front kind of swings on through, we'll see an increased chance for rain. It looks like late this afternoon and into the early evening and overnight hours into early parts of Sunday. Mostly cloudy skies right now. Here comes that front. You can see the showers ahead of that front. As we mentioned, that front's going to move on through. We'll see that chance for rain increase later today. We'll put our forecast into motion, pick things up at 11:30. I think it's doing a pretty good job of showing the timing of the rain. Here it is right now as it continues to move through, and this will be about 5 o'clock or so. So you're talking about late this afternoon, early evening hours, we will see that opportunity for some showers. The showers kind of linger into early portions of Sunday. Now, this forecast model is kind of indicating the front may hang up a little bit and continue to see at least a chance for rain along the coast tomorrow. That's something we'll be watching. For us right now, it looks like things will kind of clear on out Sunday afternoon. Should see a lot of sunshine. And then looking ahead towards Monday, this will be Christmas morning. Notice up towards North Carolina, Tennessee, the mountains up there, they may see a little bit of snow up there. Nothing like that for us. We do expect a lot of sunshine here across the Midlands. Today, mostly cloudy. As we mentioned, that rain may move in later today and into tonight. Highs climbing all the way up into the lower 70s. And then lows tonight with the clouds and rain in place, looking for lows only to drop into the lower 50s. This is what we're looking at for the next 7 days. 65 degrees tomorrow, decreasing clouds for Christmas Day, 54 after a morning low of 39. And then Tuesday, 55 degrees, and then kind of an unsettled pattern and a cool pattern too, 51 degrees on Wednesday. And right now we're only looking for high temperatures in the upper 40s Thursday and Friday, with a chance for showers both days. Lows may drop down into the middle 30s. So for the start of your holiday weekend, 73 degrees, but we will see an opportunity for showers later tonight and into very early portions of Sunday. Lauren?
All right, thanks, Daniel. After nearly a year in office, the current Congress passed its biggest achievement of 2017 this week, with President Trump signing his tax bill into law. When leaving for his house in Florida, he spoke about the bill and what he expects in 2017. Here is CBS News' Weijia Zhang.
President Trump greeted supporters on the tarmac in Palm Beach, Florida.
Are you ready to pay lower taxes?
Before he left Washington for the Christmas holiday, President Trump summoned cameras to the Oval Office.
So this is the bill right here, and we're very proud of it.
The president signed his first major legislative achievement into law, a $1.5 trillion tax overhaul.
This is, again, the biggest tax cut, biggest reform of all time.
He also signed a temporary spending bill to fund the government through mid-January. Lawmakers muscled that through the House and Senate Thursday night before leaving for their holiday recess.
The president said he wanted to keep his promise and sign the tax reform bill before Christmas. He also made some predictions for the new year.
I really do believe we're going to have a lot of bipartisan work done. And maybe we start with infrastructure.
But lawmakers may have an uphill climb when they return. Several contentious issues, including the budget and immigration, were left on the table.
We'll work most of those out on a bipartisan basis and pass what we need to pass.
Republican leaders are set to meet with the president in early January to talk about their top priorities for 2018. Weijia Zhang, CBS News, the White House.
According to the nonpartisan Congressional Budget Office, this GOP tax bill will add around $1.4 trillion to the deficit over the next decade. The bill will also slash the corporate tax rate from 35% to 21%. The CBO also estimates that within the next decade, those making less than $70,000 a year will see a tax increase. This is because the tax cuts for people in those brackets will expire by 2026, while the corporate tax cut will remain permanent. Almost 90 people have been killed after a tropical storm slammed the Philippines. The storm caused mudslides and floods across the nation, and dozens are missing. All of this happened on the main southern island of Mindanao. The storms are nothing new to the island. Last week, 46 people were killed in a typhoon. These are some pictures from the damage from social media. Deaths from drug overdoses in the U.S. skyrocketed 21% last year, according to the CDC. For the first time, the powerful painkiller fentanyl and its close opioid cousins played a bigger role in deaths than any other legal or illegal drug. This comes as a result of the growing opioid crisis, of which fentanyl is one of the more popular forms. The drug deaths dragged down life expectancy in the U.S. for the second straight year. The Trump administration's Department of Health and Human Services has told the Center for Disease Control to avoid certain words in its future budget request. According to CBS News, some of these words include things like diversity, entitlement, evidence-based, fetus, science-based, transgender, and vulnerable. Critics have slammed the move as irrational and censorship. An unusual scam is making the rounds around the country, and it targets people getting out of jail. This is not the first time it's hit our area, which is why Jill Galvin of WLTX-TV went to work to gather information and find out what you need to know to make sure you're not a victim. Happening today, for centuries, people in Israel have been keeping a fire burning in Bethlehem, the birthplace of Jesus. Well, a piece of that flame was placed on a plane and flown across Europe to New York and eventually landed in South Carolina. It's called the International Peace Light. Terry Toll with Indian Waters Council says it's the first time the fire has come to our state, and anyone is welcome to take some home.
First thing they say is, "Oh, that's cool. You know, it's been burning for 1,000 years." And then they get a little more reflective and say, wow, this was, this is where Jesus was born. There's a lot of spirit. It's such a spiritual area, not just for Christianity. So being able to participate in that and bring that into their own homes is very special for a lot of people who've come.
Well, if you want to get some of the light for your home, you have one more chance. The Indian Waters Council will have it available for the last time today at their Columbia location from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. Well, if you want to get out and get in the Christmas spirit, Main Street Ice is open today until 10 p.m. and that's where we find our Lana Harris. Lana, how are things out on the ice?
Loren, it is beautiful. First, I want to just say Merry Christmas to everyone. And I first wanted to show you a bit of Main Street right now, because if you weren't sure, if you didn't know, maybe you're coming in from out of town, hanging out with family, maybe you're new to the area, Main Street turns into this giant farmer's market every Saturday until 2 o'clock. So there's a lot of people out here just kind of hanging out, looking at food, looking at trinkets. And again, it's really, really warm outside. In fact, I had to leave my jacket in the car. And to Main Street Ice, one would think that this gorgeous weather we're having is a bit of an issue for a giant block of ice in the middle of the city. So I'm here to talk to John. John, hey, how are you doing?
Hey, how you doing?
I'm good. I'm here to talk to you about this ice. So it's a warm day outside.
Yes, it is. It's very warm. We're a little scared of the 75-degree weather that's about to hit us.
Yeah, because in theory, ice, warm weather doesn't mix.
That's right. Anything below 60 we're good with, but once it get above 60, we kind of have to watch it. It gets real wet.
Okay, so my first question to you, and maybe you can show them, just kind of, there are still people out here having fun, hanging out. What kinds of things are you having to do, or will you have to do as it gets warmer to keep this kind of going?
We kind of have to squeeze the water off the ice to kind of keep it from melting so fast. Now, once it gets 5 o'clock, maybe 6 o'clock, and the temperature start to drop just a tad bit, we'll be okay. But right now, we got to squeeze the water off.
All right, cool. So then you still got a lot of people out here. How is it for you just kind of seeing people enjoying themselves like this?
Of course you want to see the kids come out and enjoy themselves, but I think the best part for me is seeing my older folk come out here and really enjoy themselves, and they're holding hands and going around the rink, so that's special for me.
All right, cool. So last question for you, just what time do people need to come out here today?
Okay, well today we're open up until 10 o'clock this evening. On Sunday, tomorrow, Christmas Eve, we'll be open from 1 to 4. Monday through Thursday, we're open from 3 until 9.
Okay.
And then Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, we're open until 10 o'clock, except tomorrow, Christmas Eve.
All right, perfect. Thank you so much, John, for talking to us. And this is going to be out here until about mid-January. So I'm going to see if I can get on this ice, and we'll join you a little later in the show. Loren?
All right, thanks, Lana. It looks really warm out there. Have fun. Well, after the break, the Chick-fil-A Classic is creating magic on the court, and Joe Cook has the highlights in just a few minutes. Plus, could your car be a prime target for thieves? We have tips to keep your belongings safe while you're out shopping. And it may be December 23rd, but it sure doesn't feel like it. Meteorologist Daniel Bonds has your full forecast next.